Neuropsychiatry, and in-depth exploration. Introduction. Neuropsychiatry, a field that lies at the intersection of neurology and psychiatry, focuses on the understanding and treatment of disorders that affect both the nervous system and mental health. The brain, an incredibly complex organ, governs not only our physical actions but also our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. When something goes awry in the brain, the effects can manifest in a variety of ways, from physical symptoms to profound changes in mood and cognition. Neuropsychiatry aims to bridge the gap between neurological and psychiatric symptoms to provide a comprehensive approach to treatment. The field of neuropsychiatry has a rich history, dating back to the early days of medical science when the distinction between neurology and psychiatry was less pronounced. Over time, as our understanding of the brain has evolved, so too has the approach to treating brain-related disorders. Today, neuropsychiatry is a vibrant and dynamic field that incorporates insights from neuroscience, psychology, pharmacology, and other disciplines to address some of the most challenging health issues facing society. In this comprehensive exploration of neuropsychiatry, we will delve into the historical context of the field, the fundamental principles that guide neuropsychiatric practice, the various disorders that fall under its purview, and the cutting-edge treatments that are being developed. We will also examine the future directions of neuropsychiatry and the ongoing research that promises to deepen our understanding of the brain and improve the lives of those affected by neuropsychiatric conditions. Historical context of neuropsychiatry. The roots of neuropsychiatry can be traced back to ancient civilizations where the brain was recognized as the seat of thought and emotion. However, it was not until the 19th century that the field began to take shape as a distinct discipline. Key figures in the development of neuropsychiatry include neurologists like Jean-Martin Charcot and Sigmund Freud, who began their careers as neurologists before becoming pioneers in psychiatry. Charcot, often regarded as the father of modern neurology, made significant contributions to the understanding of neurological disorders such as multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's disease. His work highlighted the intricate relationship between the brain and behavior, paving the way for future neuropsychiatric research. Freud, on the other hand, started his career studying the neurological basis of mental disorders before developing psychoanalysis. His early work on the neurological underpinnings of hysteria and other conditions illustrated the importance of considering both biological and psychological factors in understanding mental health. Throughout the 20th century, advances in neuroscience and technology, such as the development of electroencephalography, EEG, and neuroimaging techniques, allowed for a more detailed examination of the brain's structure and function. These tools enabled researchers to link specific brain abnormalities with psychiatric symptoms, further solidifying the connection between neurology and psychiatry. The field continued to evolve, and by the late 20th century, neuropsychiatry had emerged as a distinct specialty. It was recognized that many psychiatric disorders, such as schizophrenia, depression, and bipolar disorder, had underlying neurological components that needed to be addressed for effective treatment. Conversely, neurological disorders such as epilepsy and traumatic brain injury often resulted in psychiatric symptoms that required specialized care. Fundamental principles of neuropsychiatry. At the core of neuropsychiatry is the understanding that the brain is both a physical and a functional organ. This dual nature means that disorders of the brain can manifest in a variety of ways, requiring an integrated approach to diagnosis and treatment. The fundamental principles of neuropsychiatry include 1. Biopsychosocial model. Neuropsychiatry embraces the biopsychosocial model of health, which considers biological, psychological, and social factors in the diagnosis and treatment of disorders. This holistic approach recognizes that brain disorders are not merely the result of biological abnormalities but are also influenced by psychological experiences and social contexts. 2. Interdisciplinary collaboration. Effective neuropsychiatric care often involves collaboration between neurologists, psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, and other healthcare professionals. This interdisciplinary approach ensures that all aspects of a patient's condition are addressed, from physical symptoms to emotional and social well-being. 3. Neuroplasticity. Neuropsychiatry acknowledges the brain's remarkable ability to adapt and reorganize itself, known as neuroplasticity. This principle underlies many therapeutic approaches, including cognitive behavioral therapy and neurorehabilitation, which aim to harness the brain's capacity for change to improve function and reduce symptoms. For evidence-based practice, the field of neuropsychiatry is grounded in scientific research and evidence-based practice. Treatments and interventions are continually evaluated and refined based on the latest research findings, ensuring that patients receive the most effective and up-to-date care. 5. Personalized medicine. Recognizing that each patient's brain is unique, neuropsychiatry emphasizes personalized medicine. This approach tailors treatments to the individual characteristics of each patient, taking into account genetic, environmental, and lifestyle factors that may influence the course of the disorder and response to treatment. Neuropsychiatric disorders. Neuropsychiatric disorders encompass a wide range of conditions that affect both the brain and behavior. These disorders can be broadly categorized into those primarily associated with neurological damage or dysfunction and those with a more pronounced psychiatric component. Some of the key neuropsychiatric disorders include 1. Schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a severe psychiatric disorder characterized by disturbances in thought, perception, and behavior. While its exact cause remains unknown, research suggests that it involves a combination of genetic, environmental, and neurobiological factors. Neuroimaging studies have revealed structural and functional abnormalities in the brains of individuals with schizophrenia, including alterations in the prefrontal cortex and hippocampus. 2. Bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is characterized by extreme mood swings, including episodes of mania and depression. Neurobiological research has identified dysregulation in neurotransmitter systems, such as dopamine and serotonin, as well as structural changes in brain regions involved in mood regulation, including the amygdala and prefrontal cortex. 3. Major depressive disorder. Major depressive disorder, MDD, is marked by persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and a lack of interest in activities. Neuropsychiatric research has highlighted the role of neurotransmitter imbalances, particularly serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine, as well as structural and functional abnormalities in the prefrontal cortex and limbic system. For anxiety disorders, including generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, are characterized by excessive fear and anxiety. Neurobiological studies have implicated the amygdala, a brain region involved in fear processing, as well as dysregulation of neurotransmitter systems such as GABA and serotonin. 5. Obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. OCD is characterized by intrusive, distressing thoughts, obsessions, and repetitive behaviors or mental acts, compulsions, performed to alleviate anxiety. Neuroimaging studies have identified abnormalities in the corticostriatothalamocortical (CSTC) circuit, a brain network involved in habit formation and decision-making. 6. Attention deficit/hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. ADHD is characterized by inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. Neurobiological research has highlighted dysregulation in dopamine and norepinephrine systems, as well as structural and functional abnormalities in the prefrontal cortex and basal ganglia, brain regions involved in attention and executive function. 7. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD. ASD encompasses a range of developmental disorders characterized by social communication difficulties and restricted, repetitive behaviors. Neuroimaging studies have revealed atypical connectivity patterns in the brain, as well as differences in the structure and function of brain regions involved in social cognition and sensory processing. 8. Epilepsy. Epilepsy is a neurological disorder characterized by recurrent seizures. Neuropsychiatric symptoms, such as mood disturbances and cognitive impairments, are common in individuals with epilepsy. Research has shown that seizures can disrupt normal brain function and lead to changes in brain structure and connectivity. 9. Traumatic brain injury, TBI. TBI results from an external force to the head, leading to brain damage and a range of cognitive, emotional, and behavioral symptoms. Neuropsychiatric symptoms following TBI can include depression, anxiety, irritability, and cognitive deficits. Neuroimaging and neuropsychological assessments are crucial in evaluating the extent of brain injury and guiding rehabilitation. 10. Neurodegenerative disorders. Neurodegenerative disorders, such as Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and Huntington's disease, involve the progressive degeneration of neurons in specific brain regions. These conditions often present with a combination of cognitive, motor, and psychiatric symptoms. For example, Alzheimer's disease is characterized by memory loss, cognitive decline, and behavioral changes, while Parkinson's disease involves motor symptoms such as tremors and rigidity, along with depression and anxiety. Cutting-edge treatments in neuropsychiatry. Advances in neuroscience and technology have led to the development of innovative treatments for neuropsychiatric disorders. These treatments aim to address the underlying neurobiological abnormalities and improve symptoms and quality of life for patients. Some of the cutting-edge treatments in neuropsychiatry include: 1. Pharmacotherapy. Medications remain a cornerstone of treatment for many neuropsychiatric disorders. Advances in pharmacogenomics, the study of how genes influence an individual's response to drugs, are helping to personalize medication choices and dosages. For example, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, and serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors, SNRIs, are commonly used to treat depression and anxiety disorders, while atypical antipsychotics are used for schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. 2. Neuromodulation techniques. Neuromodulation involves altering neural activity through electrical or magnetic stimulation. Techniques such as transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS, and deep brain stimulation, DBS, have shown promise in treating conditions like depression, OCD, and epilepsy. TMS uses magnetic fields to stimulate specific brain regions, while DBS involves the implantation of electrodes to deliver electrical impulses to targeted brain areas. 3. Cognitive behavioral therapy. CBT is a widely used psychotherapeutic approach that focuses on changing maladaptive thought patterns and behaviors. It has been shown to be effective in treating a range of neuropsychiatric disorders, including depression, anxiety, OCD, and PTSD. CBT often involves techniques such as cognitive restructuring, exposure therapy, and behavioral activation. For mindfulness-based interventions, such as mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBCT, emphasize the practice of mindfulness meditation to reduce symptoms and improve well-being. These interventions have been found to be effective for conditions such as depression, anxiety, and chronic pain. 5. Neurofeedback. Neurofeedback is a form of biofeedback that involves training individuals to regulate their brain activity. This technique uses real-time feedback from EEG or functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, to help patients learn to modulate specific brainwave patterns. Neurofeedback has shown promise in treating conditions such as ADHD, anxiety, and PTSD. 6. Rehabilitation programs. Neurorehabilitation programs aim to restore function and improve quality of life for individuals with brain injuries or neurodegenerative disorders. These programs often involve a multidisciplinary team and incorporate physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and cognitive rehabilitation. Techniques such as constraint-induced movement therapy and virtual reality-based rehabilitation are being used to enhance neuroplasticity and functional recovery. 7. Genetic and stem cell therapies. Advances in genetics and stem cell research hold promise for developing novel treatments for neuropsychiatric disorders. Genetic therapies aim to correct or modify genetic abnormalities associated with specific conditions, while stem cell therapies seek to replace damaged or dysfunctional neurons. Although still in the experimental stages, these approaches have the potential to revolutionize the treatment of disorders such as Huntington's disease and Parkinson's disease. Future directions and ongoing research. The field of neuropsychiatry is continually evolving, with ongoing research aimed at deepening our understanding of the brain and improving treatments for neuropsychiatric disorders. Some of the key areas of future research and development include: 1. Understanding brain networks. Advances in neuroimaging and computational modeling are allowing researchers to study the brain as a network of interconnected regions. This network-based approach is providing new insights into how different brain areas communicate and how disruptions in these networks contribute to neuropsychiatric disorders. For example, research on the default mode network, DMN, and its role in depression and anxiety is shedding light on the neural mechanisms underlying these conditions. 2. Biomarkers and precision medicine. Identifying biomarkers, biological indicators of disease, can help in the early diagnosis and personalized treatment of neuropsychiatric disorders. Biomarkers can include genetic, neuroimaging, and biochemical markers that provide information about an individual's risk for developing a disorder, as well as their likely response to specific treatments. Precision medicine aims to tailor interventions based on an individual's unique biological profile, improving treatment outcomes. 3. Epigenetics and environmental influences. Epigenetics, the study of how environmental factors influence gene expression, is providing new insights into the complex interplay between genes and the environment in neuropsychiatric disorders. Research is exploring how factors such as stress, trauma, and lifestyle can impact brain function and contribute to the development of disorders. Understanding these mechanisms may lead to new preventive and therapeutic strategies. 4. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. Artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning are being increasingly applied to neuropsychiatry to analyze large datasets and identify patterns that may not be apparent through traditional methods. These technologies are being used to develop predictive models for diagnosing and treating neuropsychiatric disorders, as well as to identify new drug targets and optimize treatment protocols. 5. Integrative approaches to treatment. There is growing recognition of the need for integrative approaches that combine pharmacological, psychological, and lifestyle interventions to address the multifaceted nature of neuropsychiatric disorders. Research is exploring the benefits of combining therapies, such as medication with CBT or neuromodulation with mindfulness-based interventions, to achieve better outcomes for patients. 6. Global mental health. Neuropsychiatry is also focusing on addressing the global burden of mental health disorders. This includes developing culturally sensitive interventions, improving access to care in underserved regions, and addressing the stigma associated with mental health conditions. Collaborative efforts are being made to enhance mental health services and support systems worldwide. Conclusion. Neuropsychiatry is a dynamic and rapidly evolving field that holds great promise for improving our understanding and treatment of brain-related disorders. By integrating insights from neurology, psychiatry, neuroscience, and other disciplines, neuropsychiatry offers a comprehensive approach to addressing the complex interplay between the brain and behavior. As research continues to uncover the intricate mechanisms underlying neuropsychiatric disorders, new treatments and interventions are being developed that offer hope for individuals affected by these conditions. The future of neuropsychiatry lies in the continued exploration of the brain's complexities, the development of personalized and integrative treatment approaches, and the commitment to improving mental health care on a global scale. Ultimately, neuropsychiatry aims to enhance the quality of life for individuals with neuropsychiatric disorders, providing them with the tools and support they need to lead fulfilling and meaningful lives. As our understanding of the brain continues to grow, so too will our ability to address the challenges posed by these conditions, paving the way for a brighter future in mental health care. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Ni655 family. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the content, and make sure to click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more awesome videos.